Well, I'm going to do my best to keep this video short because honestly, you don't need me to review this game. I really do believe that I could just upload 5 minutes of gameplay, not say a single word, and that would be more than enough to help you decide if Underworld: The Eternal War is worth your time. Developed by Lucky Chicken Games, Jesus Christ, and published by Play It, Underworld: The Eternal War was unfortunately released in January of 2004 on the PlayStation 2. A quick little bit of history on this one. From what I understand, it was only released in Europe. It was meant to also come out in the US, and it was also meant to get an Xbox and GameCube port, but all of that was cancelled for obvious reasons. For those of you who may not be aware, Underworld is a horror/action movie franchise starring Kate Beckinsale, centred around a war between vampires and lichens. I've only watched the original movie from 2003, I haven't seen the other 4 films, but I remember it being kind of over the top and self-serious, which I thought would make for an interesting game. Instead, what was churned out was the worst third-person shooter I've played to date, and I should have seen this coming, as the only other game I've played from this publisher is America's 10 Most Wanted, which was almost just as bad, but still not good enough to get more than a 1-star review. So what's bad about this game? Well, everything. From top to bottom, it is all terrible. You load it up, you have the choice of 4 vampires. I have no idea why you'd play as anyone else but Kate Beckinsale, but whatever. Then it throws you into the missions, at which point you see this, and just look at how the main character turns around. Each mission is exactly the same. You shoot your way through some unbelievably boring missions that do not feature a single shred of creativity within them. You are basically just walking from one end of the map to the other end of the map, with enemies spawning at regular intervals, and this game could not be more basic if it tried. The controls are truly dreadful. The game plays more like an old school twin stick shooter. You move with one analog stick and you spin around with the other. All of this feels sluggish and imprecise, and what is worse is that the camera just does whatever it wants, so you'll spend a good amount of time shooting off screen. Talking of shooting, the action is abysmal. Even though I came across roughly 10 different weapons within the first 2 missions, the variety is wasted as none of them feel good to use. None of them feel accurate despite the bit of auto-aim, and none of them feel powerful despite a few of them being explosive weapons. The game is just a constant loop of walking down the street, being ambushed by a bunch of lichens, and then shooting at them while you run backwards. And that is it. That's all there is to it. I should mention that you do have some special abilities that run on a meter, like super speed and strength. All of them are utterly useless and unexciting. The missions act like you're doing different things from time to time, as it will feed you objectives like protecting an NPC or picking up an item, but this never changes the flow of the game. It's all just mind-numbing. For example, take a look at this thrilling clip from one of the boss battles. What you've probably noticed while watching this video is how awful every single aspect of this game looks, and I truly mean every single aspect. The menus look like a 5-minute job on MS Paint, the character models look great if this were a PS1 game, and the environments are the biggest case of copy and paste I have ever seen in a video game. These environments seem to go on forever, and it's all the same grey or brown urban areas that clearly had zero effort put into them. In fact, the presentation of this game as a whole clearly had no effort put into it. It barely even has cutscenes. Each new mission just begins with the scrolling text informing you of your new mission objectives. The laziness shows itself in the sound design, or should I say lack of sound design. Not only does the same bland music play every time you get into a fight, but for some truly baffling reason, our main character only has one line of dialogue, which she unenthusiastically utters at the end of every shootout.
This is what I live for. This is what I live for. This is what I live for.
There is nothing to this game, literally nothing worthy of praise or merit, not a single aspect of gameplay that even feels the slightest bit of fun, not a speck of narrative worth following, not a single texture of its design that you can appreciate. There is nothing to this game. It looks and feels like it was made in a weekend. Honestly, at times I felt like the whole thing was just a bit of a troll. I come away from it mourning the time I will never get back after playing this, and most importantly, even though I no longer want this game anywhere near my collection, I'm not going to trade it in or sell it on, because that would just be too cruel to the next person that picks it up.